Hello, car enthusiasts. Welcome to our channel. We've prepared a very interesting video for you about the top 7 of the stupidest and worst cars in America in the 1960s. This video is sure to surprise you, so get comfortable and watch it until the end. Enjoy the show. Dear viewer, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for your support. Number 7. The 1962 Dodge Dart is often remembered as a misstep in Dodge's otherwise storied history, earning criticism for its design, handling, and reliability. Here's why the 1962 Dodge Dart was considered dumb, and how it became a less popular choice among car buyers of the era. The 1962 Dart's design was a significant departure from previous models, featuring a boxy, angular shape that was widely regarded as unattractive. The car's awkward proportions and uninspired lines failed to resonate with consumers, who were increasingly drawn to more sleek and stylish vehicles of the early 1960s. The Dart's flat, slab-sided body and prominent squared-off fenders were a far cry from the more graceful designs of its competitors. Dodge's design team, led by Virgil Exner, intended to create a car that would stand out, but the result was a car that appeared dated and unappealing even when it was brand new. The design seemed to lack the dynamism and flair that were becoming more popular in the automotive market, leading to a lukewarm reception from both critics and consumers. The 1962 Dodge Dart was also criticized for its poor handling. The car's suspension was not well tuned, leading to a rough and uncomfortable ride, especially on uneven surfaces. The steering was described as vague and unresponsive, making the Dart less enjoyable to drive compared to its rivals. The car's weight distribution and chassis design contributed to its handling issues. It felt heavy and unwieldy, particularly in corners, which detracted from driver confidence. At a time when consumers were starting to expect more nimble and responsive handling from their vehicles, the Dart's shortcomings in this area made it less competitive. The 1962 Dart was plagued by various mechanical issues that undermined its reliability. Problems with the car's transmission, particularly the push-button automatic transmission system, were common, leading to frequent complaints from owners. Additionally, the engine options, while adequate on paper, often failed to deliver consistent performance, further damaging the car's reputation. The Dart's mechanical problems translated into higher maintenance costs and more frequent visits to the repair shop, which made the car less appealing to budget-conscious buyers. As reliability and ease of maintenance became increasingly important factors for car buyers in the 1960s, the Dart's shortcomings in this area significantly hurt its sales. The combination of unattractive design, poor handling, and mechanical issues led to a significant decline in sales for the 1962 Dart. Consumers who might have considered the Dart as a budget-friendly option were instead drawn to more reliable and better-designed alternatives from Ford, Chevrolet, and even other Chrysler products. The failure of the 1962 Dart had broader implications for the Dodge brand, contributing to a perception that Dodge was struggling to keep up with industry trends. It took several years and significant redesigns before Dodge was able to recover from the misstep and re-establish the Dart as a competitive model in the compact and mid-size car segments. The 1962 Dodge Dart is remembered as a dumb car due to its unattractive, boxy design, poor handling, and mechanical issues. The car's lack of appeal, combined with reliability concerns, made it less popular than other models of its time. While the Dart nameplate would eventually recover in later years, the 1962 model remains a cautionary tale of how misjudged design and engineering decisions can significantly impact a car's success in the market. Number 6. The 1965 Plymouth Barracuda, while notable for being one of the earliest entries into the pony car market, is often considered dumb for several reasons, primarily due to its design and timing. The 1965 Barracuda was introduced just weeks before the Ford Mustang, which quickly became the defining car of the pony car era. Despite its early entry, the Barracuda couldn't capture the public's imagination in the same way the Mustang did. The Mustang's sleek design, wide array of options, and aggressive marketing made it an instant success, leaving the Barracuda struggling to gain traction in the market. Plymouth, as a brand, lacked the same level of excitement and youth appeal that Ford had successfully cultivated with the Mustang. While the Barracuda was marketed as a sporty, youthful car, it couldn't compete with the Mustang's image, which was backed by an extensive advertising campaign and a strong cultural impact. One of the most distinctive features of the 1965 Barracuda was its massive, fastback rear window, which was the largest piece of glass ever used in an American production car at the time. While this feature was intended to give the car a unique and futuristic look, it ended up being awkward and unappealing to many buyers. The large rear window dominated the car's design, giving it an unbalanced appearance that didn't resonate with consumers. The front end of the Barracuda was essentially the same as the Plymouth Valiant, a compact car known more for its practicality than its sporty appeal. This conservative and somewhat bland front design didn't match the excitement that the rear fastback styling was supposed to convey. As a result, the Barracuda's overall look was seen as disjointed and uninspired. While the Barracuda offered a V8 engine option, the base models were equipped with relatively underpowered inline-six engines, which didn't deliver the kind of performance that pony car enthusiasts were looking for. The Mustang, in contrast, offered a wider range of powerful engine options right from the start, making it more attractive to performance-minded buyers. The Barracuda's handling was adequate, but not exceptional. It shared much of its underpinnings with the Valiant, which was designed as an economy car. This meant that the Barracuda didn't offer the same level of sporty driving experience that buyers expected from a pony car, further limiting its appeal. The 1965 Barracuda sold reasonably well, but it was nowhere near as successful as the Mustang. The car's sales numbers were disappointing, especially considering it had been released so close to the Mustang. The Barracuda was quickly outpaced in the burgeoning pony car market, which soon included other competitors like the Chevrolet Camaro and the Pontiac Firebird. The Barracuda suffered from an identity crisis, as it was positioned somewhere between a compact economy car and a true performance pony car. This ambiguity made it difficult for Plymouth to attract a specific target audience, further hindering its success. The 1965 Plymouth Barracuda is considered dumb primarily because it was overshadowed by the Mustang, had an awkward and unappealing design, and lacked the performance and excitement that defined the pony car segment. While it was an important early entry into the market, the Barracuda's conservative front-end design, large and awkward rear window, and timing issues led to it being less popular and less influential than other cars of its era. Number 5. The 1960 Ford Edsel is often cited as one of the biggest automotive flops in history, and for good reason. The Edsel name itself has become synonymous with failure, primarily due to its awkward design, misguided marketing, and poor timing. The most criticized aspect of the Edsel's design was its front grille, often referred to as the horse collar or toilet seat grille. The vertical, oval-shaped grille was intended to be distinctive and set the Edsel apart from other cars on the market, but it ended up being widely ridiculed. consumers found the grille unattractive and awkward, and it became a focal point for jokes and negative opinions about the car. The 1960 Edsel's design was a mix of conflicting elements that didn't come together cohesively. While it shared some body panels with other Ford models, it lacked the elegance and style that buyers were looking for. The design was seen as both over-the-top and outdated, failing to appeal to the broader market. The Edsel was marketed as a revolutionary car that would redefine the automobile industry. Ford promised that the Edsel would be a groundbreaking vehicle with advanced features and a design that would set it apart from anything else on the road. However, when the car was finally released, it didn't live up to the hype. The features were not as innovative as advertised, and the car's styling did not resonate with the public. Ford attempted to position the Edsel as a mid-range car priced between the lower-end Ford models and the higher-end Mercury models. However, this created confusion among consumers, as the Edsel didn't clearly fit into any one category. The marketing efforts failed to clearly define who the target buyer was, leading to a lack of interest from potential customers. The Edsel was priced higher than many of its competitors, which wouldn't have been a problem if the car had delivered on its promises. However, given its awkward design and lack of real innovation, the high price seemed unjustified. Consumers were unwilling to pay a premium for a car that didn't meet their expectations in terms of style, performance, or features. The launch of the Edsel coincided with a recession in the late 1950s, which made consumers more cautious with their spending. The high price of the Edsel made it an even tougher sell during this time, as buyers were looking for more affordable and reliable options. The Edsel was developed in a rush, leading to numerous quality control issues. Many of the cars that rolled off the assembly line had mechanical problems, further damaging the car's already shaky reputation. The rushed development also meant that the Edsel didn't receive the fine-tuning and attention to detail that could have made it a better product. Despite the marketing claims, the Edsel wasn't as different from other Ford and Mercury models as it was made out to be. It shared many components with other cars in the Ford lineup, which made it difficult for buyers to see why they should choose an Edsel over a more established and reliable Ford model. The Edsel's failure was so pronounced that the name itself became a byword for disaster. Ford had invested heavily in the development and marketing of the Edsel, but poor sales and negative public perception forced the company to pull the plug on the brand after just 3 model years, 1958 to 1960. The failure of the Edsel became a case study in how not to launch a product, particularly in the automotive industry. The failure of the Edsel had significant financial repercussions for Ford, costing the company hundreds of millions of dollars. It also damaged Ford's reputation, leading to more cautious and conservative approaches in future car development and marketing. The 1960 Ford Edsel is remembered as a dumb car due to its awkward design, particularly the infamous horse-collar grille, misguided and overhyped marketing, high price, and poor timing. The car failed to live up to the expectations set by Ford and became a massive flop, resulting in its discontinuation and leaving behind a legacy as one of the biggest failures in automotive history. The Edsel serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of over-promising, under-delivering, and misreading the market. Number 4. The 1961 Chevrolet Corvair is often remembered as a dumb car, not necessarily because of its design or engineering alone, but because of the significant safety concerns that emerged, especially after the publication of Ralph Nader's book, Unsafe at Any Speed. The Corvair was unique among American cars of the time for its rear-engine, air-cooled layout, similar to the Volkswagen Beetle and Porsche models. While this design was intended to offer better weight distribution and more interior space, it also introduced significant handling challenges. The rear engine layout, combined with the car's swing-axle rear suspension, made the Corvair prone to oversteer. This meant that the rear of the car could suddenly lose grip during cornering, leading to spin-outs. The handling issues were exacerbated when the car was driven at high speeds or when tire pressure was not maintained exactly as recommended by Chevrolet, which was a common issue among drivers unaware of the specific requirements. In 1965, consumer advocate Ralph Nader published his book Unsafe at Any Speed, which heavily criticized the Corvair's safety. Nader highlighted the car's tendency to lose control and spin out due to its rear engine design, and criticized General Motors for not addressing these issues adequately. The book played a significant role in bringing the Corvair's safety problems into the public eye. The negative publicity generated by Nader's book was devastating for the Corvair's reputation. The car quickly became synonymous with dangerous driving conditions, and public confidence in the model plummeted. Even though GM made changes to the Corvair's suspension in 1964 to address these issues, the damage to the car's reputation was already done. The controversy surrounding the Corvair's safety led to a sharp decline in sales. Consumers, now aware of the potential dangers, were hesitant to purchase the car, especially when other safer and more conventional alternatives were available. The negative perception was so strong that it overshadowed the car's positive attributes, such as its innovative design and engineering. The Corvair also faced increasing competition from other compact cars like the Ford Falcon, which offered similar practicality without the perceived safety risks. As a result, Chevrolet struggled to keep the Corvair relevant in a market that was rapidly moving away from the car's unconventional design. The Corvair's safety issues eventually led to governmental investigations. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, conducted tests and, in 1972, concluded that the 1960-63 Corvair models were no more unsafe than comparable vehicles of the time. However, by then, the Corvair's reputation was irreparably damaged. The controversy surrounding the Corvair played a significant role in the development of automotive safety regulations in the United States. Nader's campaign against the Corvair helped lead to the establishment of the NHTSA and the introduction of federal safety standards for automobiles. The Corvair's legacy is closely tied to its role in the automotive safety movement and its association with failure and controversy. Despite its innovative design and early popularity, the Corvair is often remembered as an example of a car that was undone by safety flaws and the resulting public outcry. Even though later versions of the Corvair were significantly improved, the stigma from the early models remained. The Corvair is frequently cited in discussions about automotive safety and corporate responsibility, illustrating how a car can become infamous for design flaws that compromise safety. The 1961 Chevrolet Corvair is considered dumb, primarily because of its safety issues, particularly the handling problems caused by its rear engine layout. Ralph Nader's book Unsafe at Any Speed brought these issues into the spotlight, leading to severe negative publicity and a sharp decline in sales. Despite attempts to address the problems, the Corvair's reputation was irreparably damaged, and it remains a cautionary tale about the importance of vehicle safety and corporate responsibility in the automotive industry. The number 3. The 1964 Mercury Comet Cyclone, despite its name and sporty intentions, fell short in several key areas, leading it to be regarded as a disappointment. The Comet Cyclone was marketed as a sporty, high-performance variant of the Mercury Comet, designed to compete with other emerging muscle and sporty compact cars of the era. Its name, Cyclone, suggested power, speed, and agility, promising an exciting driving experience. Despite the sporty branding, the 1964 Comet Cyclone did not live up to the performance expectations set by its name. The car's actual performance was underwhelming compared to its peers, leading to disappointment among buyers who expected a true muscle car experience. One of the primary issues with the Comet Cyclone was its relatively heavy weight for a compact car. Weighing in at over 3,000 pounds, it was heavier than many of its competitors in the sporty compact car segment. This added weight negatively impacted acceleration, handling, and overall driving dynamics, making the car feel sluggish and less responsive. The extra weight also made the Comet Cyclone less agile, which was a significant drawback for a car that was supposed to offer a sporty driving experience. Compared to lighter and more nimble competitors, the Cyclone struggled to deliver the kind of driving excitement that buyers were looking for. The 1964 Comet Cyclone came equipped with a 289 cubic inch V8 engine, producing around 210 horsepower. While this engine was respectable for a compact car, it was not powerful enough to overcome the car's heavy weight. As a result, the Cyclone's acceleration and top speed were disappointing compared to other sporty cars of the time. At a time when muscle cars were gaining popularity for their raw power and thrilling performance, the Comet Cyclone's engine didn't deliver the punch that its competitors offered. For instance, cars like the Pontiac GTO and Ford Mustang, introduced around the same time, provided more powerful engine options that overshadowed the Cyclone's performance. The 1964 Comet Cyclone faced stiff competition from other compact and muscle cars that offered better performance, more aggressive styling, and a more engaging driving experience. The Ford Mustang, introduced in 1964, quickly became a cultural icon and set a new standard for sporty, affordable cars. The Cyclone, in comparison, felt like a half-hearted attempt that didn't measure up to the expectations of the emerging muscle car market. The Cyclone was positioned as a sportier version of the Mercury Comet, but it didn't carve out a strong identity for itself in the market. It was neither a full-fledged muscle car nor a true compact sports car, leaving it in an awkward middle ground that failed to attract a dedicated fan base. The combination of the Cyclone's heavy weight, underpowered engine, and unremarkable performance left many buyers disappointed. It didn't live up to the excitement and thrill promised by its name and marketing, leading to a lukewarm reception from enthusiasts and the general public alike. The 1964 Comet Cyclone had the potential to be a strong contender in the sporty compact car market, but its shortcomings in weight, power, and agility prevented it from achieving that status. Instead, it is often remembered as a missed opportunity that failed to capitalize on the growing demand for sporty, high-performance vehicles. The 1964 Mercury Comet Cyclone is considered dumb because it failed to deliver the performance and excitement suggested by its name and marketing. Its heavy weight and underpowered engine made it less agile and slower than its competitors, disappointing buyers who expected a sporty driving experience. In a market increasingly dominated by true muscle cars and nimble sports cars, the Comet Cyclone fell short, leading to its reputation as a car that didn't live up to its potential. Number 2, the 1966 Chevrolet Chevelle 300, while part of the popular Chevelle lineup, is often considered a dumb choice, especially when compared to its more powerful and stylish siblings. The Chev 300 was the entry-level model in the Chev lineup, and it was stripped down to the basics. The car was designed to be a no-frills, affordable option, but this came at the cost of eliminating many features that buyers in the mid-1960s were starting to expect, even in lower-priced vehicles. The interior of the Chev 300 was extremely basic, with minimal trim, basic seating, and limited amenities. It lacked the comfort and style that other models in the Chev lineup offered, making it feel cheap and uninviting. For buyers looking for a car that offered more than just the essentials, the Chev 300's interior was a significant letdown. The base model Chev 300 was equipped with modest engine options, including a 194 cubic inch inline-six that produced only about 120 horsepower. While this was sufficient for basic transportation, it was far from exciting, especially in an era when muscle cars were gaining popularity for their powerful engines and thrilling performance. The Chev 300's engine options did not include the more powerful V8s that were available in higher-end Chev, like the SS 396. This lack of power meant that the Chev 300 couldn't compete with the muscle cars of the time, making it a dull choice for enthusiasts who wanted speed and performance. The Chev 300 had a very plain and utilitarian design, lacking the aggressive lines, bold grilles, and eye-catching details that characterized many other cars of the mid-1960s. Its conservative styling made it blend in rather than stand out, which was a disadvantage in a market increasingly driven by style and image. Unlike its more expensive siblings, the Chev 300 did not have any distinctive design elements that set it apart. It was designed to be practical and economical, but in doing so, it lost the visual appeal that made other cars in the Chev lineup desirable. The Chev lineup in 1966 included the famous SS 396 model, which was a true muscle car, with powerful V8 engines and aggressive styling. The SS 396 became an icon of the muscle car era, and its popularity only highlighted the shortcomings of the Chev 300. Buyers interested in performance and style were far more likely to choose the SS 396, leaving the Chev 300 as an unappealing alternative. The Chev 300 was seen as a budget-conscious choice, but this perception worked against it in a market where buyers were increasingly willing to spend more for additional power, comfort, and style. The Chev 300's emphasis on affordability made it seem like a compromise rather than a desirable option. While the Chev 300 was marketed as a practical, economical car, it missed out on the growing trend toward performance-oriented vehicles. Chevrolet had an opportunity to offer a more balanced model that combined affordability with some level of excitement. But the Chev 300 didn't deliver on this front. The car's stripped-down nature and lack of power limited its appeal to a very specific segment of the market, those who were looking for basic, inexpensive transportation. However, even in this segment, the Chev 300 faced competition from other vehicles that offered similar practicality, but with more attractive designs or better features. The 1966 Chevrolet Chev 300 is considered dumb because it offered little in terms of power, style, or features, especially when compared to other models in the Chev lineup and the broader muscle car market. Its stripped-down, bare-bones approach made it unappealing to buyers who wanted more than just basic transportation. The Chev 300's lack of power, bland design, and minimalist interior made it an underwhelming choice, particularly at a time when car buyers were increasingly drawn to vehicles that combined performance with style. Number 1. The 1968 AMC Javelin was American Motors Corporation's AMC entry into the rapidly growing pony car segment, but it struggled to make a significant impact. The Javelin's design, while not unattractive, was considered conservative compared to the bold, aggressive lines of its competitors like the Ford Mustang, Chevrolet Camaro, and Pontiac Firebird. The Javelin's styling lacked the distinctive features that made other pony cars stand out, such as the Mustang's fastback roofline or the Camaro's sharp, muscular profile. The Javelin didn't have a strong visual identity that could set it apart from the competition. While other pony cars were instantly recognizable and had iconic design elements, the Javelin's design was somewhat generic, which made it less memorable and appealing to consumers. The 1968 Javelin offered a range of engines, from a 232 cubic inch inline 6 to a 343 cubic inch V8. While the V8 options provided decent performance, they were not on par with the more powerful engines available in the Mustang or Camaro, such as the Mustang's 390 or 428 Cobra Jet V8S or the Camaro's 396 cubic inch big block. Although the Javelin was marketed as a sporty pony car, it lacked the raw power and performance edge that enthusiasts were looking for. Its top engine options, while competent, did not deliver the same level of performance thrills that defined the muscle car era, making it a less exciting choice for those seeking speed and power. By 1968, the pony car segment was highly competitive, with established models like the Mustang, Camaro, Firebird, and Dodge Challenger already commanding significant market share. The Javelin entered this crowded field without a clear advantage, making it difficult to capture the attention of consumers who were already drawn to the more popular and better-performing models. AMC was a smaller player compared to the big three automakers, Ford, GM, and Chrysler, which meant the Javelin didn't benefit from the same level of brand recognition or dealer support as its competitors. This put the Javelin at a disadvantage when trying to attract buyers who were more familiar with the Mustang or Camaro brands. While the Javelin was generally praised for its handling, it wasn't exceptional enough to stand out in a segment where cars like the Camaro and Mustang were setting new standards for sporty, driver-focused dynamics. The Javelin's ride quality and handling were adequate, but they didn't offer the same level of excitement or precision that performance enthusiasts were seeking. The Javelin didn't introduce any groundbreaking features or innovations that could have set it apart from the competition. In an era when automakers were pushing the boundaries of design and performance, the Javelin's conservative approach left it feeling dated and uninspired. The Javelin struggled to define its place in the market. It wasn't as luxurious as the Mercury Cougar, nor as performance-oriented as the Camaro SS or Mustang GT. This lack of a clear identity made it difficult for the Javelin to attract a dedicated following. Buyers who were looking for something specific, be it luxury, performance, or a unique style, often found better options elsewhere. AMC, being a smaller company, often marketed the Javelin as the underdog choice for those who wanted to be different. However, this strategy didn't resonate with the majority of buyers, who preferred the proven success and widespread appeal of the Mustang or Camaro. The 1968 AMC Javelin is often considered dumb because it failed to stand out in a highly competitive market dominated by iconic pony cars like the Mustang and Camaro. Its conservative design, unremarkable performance, and lack of a clear market identity made it a less appealing choice for consumers who were looking for excitement, power, and style in their cars. While the Javelin was a competent vehicle, it lacked the distinctive qualities needed to make a significant impact in the pony car segment, leading it to be overshadowed by its more successful competitors.